So we just had 10 closings for our real estate company, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of the deals that we got. And as you can see from the screen, here are the HUDs and here are the wire transfers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of these closings match the wire transfers that we got. You can see they're from the title company and the address is listed on here. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I want to help you get to 10 to 20K per month so that once you have enough money, we can help you scale based on profit. And I'm going to share all the lessons that have gotten me here because I don't BS around like a bunch of these people. I'll show you the proof. If you like it, we work together. If you don't, no problem. But I hope that walking you through all of this can help you at least get one more deal a month. So with that being said, let's break each and one of these deals down, right? So most of these were wholesales. One we did buy and just relisted, which was this $66,000 deal. We ended up making or netting like 50K. And I want to walk you through some of the things that I'm seeing right now in the real estate market, right? So as you can see, the average fee is around 12K if it wasn't for this big deal. And we have these two that are closing right here. We should make around 45K by the end of the month. But I want to walk you through what we are seeing in terms of the market because things are getting way harder. And with this, I'm going to show you exactly how we're getting these deals and how we are trying to improve our average assignment fee because it used to be more than 15. Now it's gotten harder. And I'm going to walk you through some of the challenges that we are seeing. So with that being said, you need a way of getting these leads, right? So with us, we use Facebook because with Facebook, we use paint-based ads and founder-style ads that speak directly to the avatar, whether they're in foreclosure, they are trying to downsize, maybe the property needs a bunch of repairs, or they just want the convenience aspect of, selling their property. So what we do is position ourselves in front of them on a platform just like Facebook, because that's the only platform that we can directly target motivation. And we have a way of building trust before the first sale, right? So being able to do this, we average around 20 to $30 cost per lead. And we only need 20 to 25 leads to get a contract. And that's why our ROI is huge because we are probably investing anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 and we're getting a bunch of closings. As you can see, this is the last 30 days. We have an average cost per lead of around $30 to $35. And like I said, we contract one in 25 leads. So if you kind of want to know exactly how we do this, book a call. You got to be doing, 10 to 20K per month. That way we can help you and help you make more money. If you don't, please just don't book a call. But basically, once we get the lead, our lead manager are going to qualify the lead and set an appointment, right? So the main things that we look at are they urgent? Meaning we come to a deal. Are they ready to sell right now? And two, are they more motivated? Is there anything going on in their lives that would make them want to sell to an investor? So as you can see, our lead managers are going to kind of set what the main points of the conversation was, what the motivation was, what the timeline is. Do they know where they would go if they sold? What's the timeline? And basically that positions our offer. That way we can cater to them. And whether we do a cash deal or innovation, we know exactly what the best solution is going to be for them. Now, once we kind of basically set the appointment, our closer is going to talk to them and make sure that we give them an offer and help them move forward. Now, I'm going to break down the entire sales process. I think you can get something from this and, it can help your conversions. But basically the lead comes in and then the lead manager is going to start the intro call. We're going to set expectations so them to know exactly basically how we work. And we want to know what they want to know exactly what are the next future steps, right? So if you don't do this, you're going to get ghosted or people are not going to be honest with you. So we want to set the expectations from the get-go. But once we do that, we want to know exactly what made them inquire, like on the ad. Something like, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I think you found us on Facebook. What about the ad made you want to look into this a little bit further? That way we kind of see what's going on, right? And then we kind of want to know, okay, hey, if we come to a deal today, you're definitely ready to sell the property, right? Yes, okay. And then we're basically just going to go into property condition, timeline, kind of like all that stuff. And we want to know if they are motivated, right? And then, of course, we're going to address the timeline. condition, roadblocks, motivation, and price, right? If they are motivated, then they're going to set the appointment like this, right? And then this is where the closer calls start. They're going to set the expectations once again. How are we going to get them an offer and the next steps moving forward? But after we do that, the closer is basically just going to reach out, be like, hey, now you talked to Brian. He told me to call you at 5. Just know that you should expect a phone call from this number. But if they're motivated, the closer is going to call them. If they're not, we're going to tell them like, hey, we're not going to good fit, or we're going to call you in a couple of weeks to see if anything has changed. Good? Okay, good. What we're going to do is kind of build a rapport and let them know we're actually human beings and we're trying to help them. But basically, when the closer starts the appointment call, or we call it the reprocess, our main goal with this is for the closer to build as much rapport as possible and dive deep into the motivation, right? Because when you are motivated, you make decisions based on emotion and they're not logical, right? So what we're trying to do is just build as much rapport and ask the right question so that we dig deeper into the motivation. That way we know exactly what we need to solve in order to help them move forward, right? So he starts the intro call. He sets expectations, what we're going to cover, how long it's going to take. The result is we're going to tell them how much the property qualifies for, and we give them the permission to say no, right? Because if you don't give them that permission, they'll either be resistant or they're going to give you a bunch of objections. So we want them to feel as comfortable as they can be. That way they can ask us the right questions and we build a solid relationship, right? So we'll set the stage. We're going to address any roadblocks. We're going to dive deeper into the motivation. Hey, I know that you told Brian that you trying to downsize. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? And then just ask, the deep questions that you guys don't want to ask. That way we get the clear picture and we don't take anything for face value. So my closers know exactly what to ask and why and how. That way we build as much rapport as possible, right? We also want to talk about any potential influencers. Hey, is there anyone in your life that would be upset if you sold this property without telling them? No? Okay, so you don't need to talk to a lawyer, a family friend, or anyone to make a decision? No? Okay, great. So if we, give you an offer that you like, you'd be ready to move forward? Yes. Okay, great. And then we basically start talking about the price, right? So by this time, we're going to talk about the condition of the property, what they're trying to accomplish, what that would look like, a picture perfect scenario. How has that problem impact them from, their emotional state, physical state, how they spend their time, relationship, whatever. We have an SOP on how we look for these things. And I made a video on this already. So if you're interested, I'll link it down below. But after we get all this information, we're going to set the offer call, right? Now, the job of the seller, like I said, is to build as much rapport as possible. And whenever we are presenting the offers, we do what's called same side selling, meaning is the closer and the seller teaming up together against us, the big bad partners, because we are setting the price, but they're basically anchoring that relationship to be able to move forward and walk them through their options, right? Whether it's cash, novation, listing, we is basically just going to choose the option that works best for the situation. Once we set the offer call, we're going to start it, set the expectations once again, how long it's going to take, what we're going to go over, that we're going to give them a cash offer, future steps, and that they have the permission to say no if they don't like it. Okay. So we do that. We give the offer. Of course, we're going to price anchor because sellers are scared of not getting the best deal. So we always want to come below what our max allowable offer is. And then basically, if that's not accepted, it's usually never accepted because they want too much and we got to make a profit and it needs repairs. And the way the market is just way harder. But we're going to try to negotiate 2 times when it comes to the cash. We're going to increase the offer to see, like, hey, if I was able to do this much, would that change anything? No. Okay. How about this price? No. Okay, great. So if it's not accepted, we're going to pitch the novation, be like, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I think this price is important to you. Have a way that I can get there, but I'm going to require 2 things from you, right? We're going to be more flexible in the closing timeline. I need at least 60 days. And the other thing I'm going to need would be access into the property. And then we basically just tell them how we are able to list this on their behalf in order to get them the best buyer. And we tell them exactly that we're not going to be the buyer. So we set the expectations clearly. We're super transparent on how we're doing it. And that builds a lot of trust. And we give these scripts to all of our clients and students. But after that's accepted, we're going to kind of go over the DocuSign. We're going to walk through it together so that we're going to set the expectations once again on what that phone call is going to be, what we're going to go over. And, we just want them to feel as comfortable as possible so that they get that sign, and then we start the dispo process. But that's kind of like the flow of things on how we do the sales process. And the way that you can basically apply this, my recommendation is you need to have a good inbound marketing channel that is at least giving you a 6S return on ad spend. That way, it's way easier to grow on profit, whether you are cold calling, texting, sending direct mail. We just want to fine tune that as much as possible. And the reason why I like Facebook is because we have more than a 12x return on ad spend. And I cut out all the other channels and all I do is Facebook, because now I am at exactly where I want to be. I don't even have to talk to the sellers. That's because I have a team and I closed more than 100 deals myself before I was able to offload it. So I'm just trying to help you and fast track this, because after you have a good marketing channel, whether you want to use Facebook, inbound, or whatever you choose to do, the next step is mapping out the sales process so that you can replace yourself from closing and focus on growing the business and whatever that means to you. Whether you want to get to netting 30K a month, 40K a month, 100K a month, obviously the more that you make, the harder it's going to be. So for us, our sweet spot is between 100 to 150. After all of the overhead, paying out the team, I can net anywhere from 30 to 70 to 80, $100,000, depending on the month. And all I have to do is focus on the marketing and holding my team accountable and giving them the resources that they need. And I lead the morning meetings where I tell them exactly what the focus is, what we need to fix, and like I said, give them any resources that they need, right? But once you do this, you don't need to have a multi-million-dollar wholesale business. You just need to net whatever amount makes sense for you and your business and your lifestyle. So for me, I was able to achieve this at the beginning of this year, and I was able to travel to Europe for a whole month with my wife, and then we went to Dubai. But once you have these things in place, you're going to be able to have a business that serves you, not the other way around, because a lot of people are just trying to preach you on just doing the out school methods, or for you just to spend more money on marketing. But at the end of the day, wholesaling, it's a cash flow business. You're never going to sell that business. So all we care about is the net profit at the end of the day. And we basically help all of our students get to whatever revenue goal they're trying to get to, help them with the marketing so that they don't depend on an agency. So that way they get a better ROI. And then we plug in our sales process to help them get more deals. And we build the business structure so that we have a game plan of what we need to do in order to get to their goal. But once you achieve these things, you're at what I call wholesale nirvana, where you know exactly how many leads you need, how much money you need to spend in marketing. That way you net whatever amount you need to net, and so that you can travel or do whatever it is that you want to do. So for me, I like where we're at right now. And one of the things that we are working on right now when it comes to the dispo, like I said, it's getting way harder to sell deals because there's more pain, in the market. There's a lot of inventory. So what I tell all of my guys is we need to spend way more time talking to the sellers about the motivation, because if they don't sell to us, they're going to sell to somebody else. And what we want is to be the ones that are helping them out, because we have all the resources to do so, right? So one of the things that we're changing is we're diving deeper into the motivation. We want to talk to them at least 30 minutes to an hour and really dive down exactly what, their goal is and what we need to do in order to get there. And then the other thing that we're doing, we're having an open conversation with them. If we're listing them on their behalf to do innovation, we want to be as transparent as possible. Like, hey, we had X, Y, and Z walk the property. They offered us this amount, and I know it's not what you wanted, but that's kind of like the offer that you have. And the only way that we're going to retrade a deal is if we have 1 to 2 concrete offers on the table that we can go back to the seller and try to renegotiate so that we can make our profit. So the way that we're underwriting, we're still being aggressive, but sometimes we think we're going to make 25K and we end up making $10,000. That's just the way that the market is. So that's what we're doing in order to combat that. And I hope that you take anything of value from this video. You can have a business that serves you, but you need to focus on the marketing, the sales process, and having a goal of whatever revenue goal that is. That way you can have a plan and you can hold your team accountable. And if you want us to help you, book a call down below, as long as you're doing 10 to 20K per month or have at least 20K in savings, because you need to spend money in ads. We're going to help you get better leads, cheaper leads, and we're going to help you make more money with our sales process. That way you can apply that and plug it in any market of the United States. And like I said, my goal is to help you scale and to learn from my lessons. I've been doing this for a long time. So I just want to help you grow. I want to help you make more money. So I hope this was valuable, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.